Hi, welcome back to ChemTube channel. I'm Jagu Wong. Today we are going to look at Penang trial paper 3. Let's start. Question number 1. Diagram 1 shows 3 sets of experiment to study the effect of concentration on the rate of reaction between the marble chips and the hydrochloric acid. Okay. So let's look at the video how to conduct the experiment. Okay. The marble chips is put into the acid, and then you can see the mass of the marble chips is decreasing. Decreasing. So based on the observation here, then we can calculate the rate of reaction. Okay, so A, record the mass to 2 decimal places in the space provided, so 3 marks. So let's see the questions here. Okay, so this one is before the experiment. We use the concentration is 0.1, 2 grams of marble chips. Okay, then after 8 minutes, just now the video only show until around 5 minutes. So before is so round to 2 decimal places, so we have to round it correctly. So the answer, mass before, so no unit given, so you have to put in the unit for the mass. So it's 150.70 gram, and after 8 minutes will be 150 and 64 because you round to 2 decimal places. So this is for set 1. And set 2, okay, again was the same, 150.70 gram. Then after 8 minutes, this one is using the 0.5 mole per cubic decimeter, so higher concentration compared to first experiment just now. So after 8 minutes will be 150 and 55 gram. Then set number 3, okay, this one is the highest concentration among the 3 set of experiment, and it's okay same. Then final it will be 150.47 gram after 8 minutes. So all the 3 set of experiment you record the data correctly, so you get 3 marks. 3 marks. So this is under measuring using numbers. Okay, B, construct a table to record the readings of the mass in diagram 1. So 3 marks. So you have okay, suggested answer here. Okay, so this is for score 3. So concentration here, unit is given, mole per cubic decimeter. Mass before the experiment, gram. After the experiment, also gram. Unit must be labeled correctly here. Then the concentration given is 0.1, 0.5, and 1.0. So you record down all the mass correctly. So this one will be score 3. For score 2, okay, score 2 missing the unit. Okay, so no unit, score 2. Score 1, no unit, and then only 2 concentration is recorded. So this is under score 1. Okay, so this is under communicating. So based on the set 1 in diagram 1, okay, step 1 observation. So what can you observe just now is the colorless bubble gas will produce. Okay, 3 marks. Or 2 marks, air bubbles produced or mass reading decreasing, decreases. Okay, number 3, score 1, conical flask becomes warm. The mass is 150.64 or mass changes. So score 1. So we aim for the score 3. Oh, yeah. So colorless bubble gas produced. So what is the inference? So it's a carbon dioxide is produced. Also carbon dioxide produced. So you get score 3. For score 2, acid and calcium carbonate reacts or gas is released. Not mentioned what gas. So we score 2. Then score 1, heat is released. So score 1. Okay. If you have any question, you can write at the comment below. Then state the variables for the experiments. So manipulated variable is obviously we manipulate the concentration of hydrochloric acid. So responding variable is the rate of reaction or change in the mass of the calcium carbonate. Fixed variable, we fix the hydrochloric acid or mass of the calcium carbonate or temperature or size of calcium carbonate. These are the fixed variables. So you pick any one of these fixed variable, any one of these. So based on the variables, so we can write the hypothesis. So our MV is concentration of hydrochloric acid. Responding is the rate of reaction. So we can use the MV/RV to write the correct hypothesis. So score 3, the higher the concentration of hydrochloric acid, the higher the rate of reaction. Or the higher the concentration of hydrochloric acid, the larger the change in the mass of the calcium carbonate, also accepted as score 3. How about score 2? The higher the concentration of hydrochloric acid, the faster the rate of reaction. So rate of reaction must relate it to the rate of reaction, or sometimes the student will write the faster the rate of reaction. Also get score 2 only. Another one, score 2, the rate of reaction increase when the higher concentration of hydrochloric acid used. Okay, so rate of reaction is the RV, is the RV. Concentration of acid is MV. So MV/RV reverse also score 2, score 2. Score 1, concentration affect the mass. So affects no direction, no direction. So remember, in writing the hypothesis, you have to write the direction: higher, lower, increase, decrease, and so on. Okay, next. The experiment in set 1 was modified by using 0.8 mole per cubic decimeter hydrochloric acid. Predict the electronic balance reading after 8 minutes. So just now, the highest concentration is 1.0. In other words, the mass would be a little bit higher. A little bit higher compared to the 1.0 mole per cubic decimeter hydrochloric acid. So the mass will be between the second set and the third set. So you can use any value between 150.47 until 150.55. So you can use any numbers in this one, and then remember to put the unit. Okay, so you cannot give a range like this. Let's say I put 150.50 gram. Okay, so in the range, so it's correct. You can get 3 marks. So score 2, you write the range like this: more than 150.46 and less than 150.53. Okay, like this. Or you give a range like this, so it's only can get score 2. Score 1, more than 150.4689. Okay, gram. Okay, so normally if like this, we can predict an exact value. We have to give the exact value. Okay, next, state the operation definition for the rate of reaction in the experiment. So change in the mass is what you observe when time taken is 8 minutes. Okay, it's score 3. For score 2, change in mass when time is taken without stating the exact time. mass when time is taken at 8 minutes, so score 2. But score 1, time taken, change in the mass after some times, not mention the exact time. For this experiment, you have to mention is 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay. So using time, space-time relationship, okay, hydrochloric acid used in the experiment in set 1 is in excess. So experiment in set 1 allows to run until the reaction is complete. State the relationship between the change in mass with time. So your answer should sound, if longer the time, what will happen? What happens to the mass? Okay. So when the time increase, the change in the mass increase until a constant or no change, because it is reacted completely, yeah? Because the hydrochloric acid used is in excess. So meaning that at the end, the calcium carbonate, the marble chips will completely reacted. Okay. Score 2, when the time increase, the time change in the mass will increases. Okay. So this is score 2. Then score 1, mass increase with time. So not complete, so score 1. Score 1. Write the chemical equation for the reaction between the hydrochloric acid and calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is marble chips now. So interpreting the data. So write the chemical equation. So 3 marks. So hydrochloric acid is HCl. React with the calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So in this reaction, you react. So you form the salt is calcium chloride. Then you form the water plus the carbon dioxide, because wherever the metal carbonate react with acid, it will release the carbon dioxide. And then we need to balance the chemical equations. So this one chloride, 2 chloride. Here only 1, so this one times 2. So it gets score 3. Make sure that it is balanced. Okay, then finally, a list of the substances identified below: salt, carbonate drinks, vinegar, baking soda, baking powder. So substance pH more than 7 means alkaline. This one is acidic. So here, okay, carbonate drinks and vinegar is acidic. So we put under less than 7. So another 2, more than 7 will be salt and baking powder. If totally reverse, will be score 1. Question number 2, planning of experiment. Diagram shows the conversation between 2 students. Why is the experiment of electroplating of the iron spoon unsuccessful for my group? The connection of the iron spoon and the copper to the battery terminals are correct. Oh, no wonder electroplating does not occur. You use the wrong electrolyte. So this one use the wrong electrolyte. Let's see what happened. Okay, so based on the situation, plan an experiment to study the effect of study the factor that affects the above result. In other words, the factor of type of electrolytes used. So your planning should include the SAM, problem statement, variables, hypothesis, material apparatus, procedure, and tabulation of data. So 17 marks. So this one all are 3 marks. Then finally, this one 3 marks. So total is 15. And tabulation of that data is 2 marks. So total is 17. So now I show you the videos or movies how to electroplate. Okay, for electroplating.
The process of electroplating copper coin with silver. Before carrying out the electroplating process, the copper coin must be cleaned with sandpaper. Then, the copper coin and the silver strip are attached to the setup. The silver strip is the anode and the copper coin is the cathode. The silver strip and the copper coin are placed in silver nitrate solution. When electrical current passing through the circuit, it can be seen that the silver strip is slowly getting thinner, whereas the copper coin is seen to be coated by a layer of shiny silvery solid.
Okay, so based on the videos here, okay, so this one normally the question will ask you to change coins, a spoon, or key. Okay, so remember the things that you want to be electroplated, you put at the cathode. Okay, yeah. Then the one you need to electroplate with the metals, so you put it at the anode because later on it will ionize. Okay. So here it's not mentioned what chemicals you need to use. Okay, so you can plan at your own. So problem segment. Okay, how does the type of electrolyte affects the electroplating? So 3 marks. Or how does the zinc sulfate and the copper 2 sulfate solution affects the electroplating? So you use the name electrolyte, okay, to replace the type of electrodes. Also accepted because here in this question not mentioned what electrolyte is you need to use for the electroplating. So you can choose any suitable electroplating electrolyte for the electroplating. For score 2, how does the type of electrolyte affects the experiment? Is not specific enough. Affects the electroplating. Score 1, how is electroplating done? Okay, so score 1. To study the effect of electrolyte on the rusting. So score 1 under M actually. This one is M. For variables, so manipulated variables, we write out the type of electrolyte I use, or zinc sulfate and the copper 2 sulfate solution. Responding, brown deposit or electroplating take place or not. Fixed variable, we use the copper at the anode, meaning that we use the copper as the electroplating metal. Hypothesis, so copper 2 sulfate solution produce brown deposit at the iron spoon, but zinc sulfate solution does not produce the brown deposit at the iron spoon. So here actually we use the iron spoon as the electroplate. We want to electroplate the iron spoon with the copper. Okay, so here we also choose at our own. You also can change to coin. You also can choose the key. Also can. Score 2, copper 2 sulfate solution produce a brown deposit on the iron spoon. Without mentioning the other one, the zinc sulfate solution does not produce the brown deposit. Means the electroplating not successful. You have to mention also to get score 3. So zinc sulfate solution does not produce the brown deposit at the iron spoon. So this one you have to write both conditions so that you can get score 3. If write only one condition, you can get score 2 only. Score 1, copper 2 sulfate solution coats the iron spoon. Okay, score 1. Then materials and apparatus. So materials we use, okay, iron spoon, copper 2 sulfate solution, copper rod or copper electrode, zinc sulfate solution. The apparatus we need, okay, beaker, connecting wires, okay, batteries, switch, and then sandpaper. Yeah. So for score 3, you have to write 4 materials and then 5 apparatus. Okay. So for score 2, okay, material 1, 2, 3, apparatus, any container, suitable container, and then 6, 7, meaning that you need to fulfill all these criteria, then you can score 2. For score 1, material M1, iron spoon must have, and then electrolyte, any suitable electrolyte, and then container, and then number 7, you need the battery. Okay, so for score 1. Okay, procedure number 1, rub the iron spoon and the copper rod with the sandpaper. Number 2, pour the copper 2 sulfate solution into the beaker until 2/3 full. Insert the iron spoon and then copper rod into the solution, then complete the circuit. Here actually you can put in this one, iron spoon connect to cathode, copper rod connect to anode. Mention it, specify it, then complete the circuit, observe the iron spoon and record it in the table. Then repeat the experiment by replacing the copper 2 sulfate solution with zinc sulfate solution. Okay, yeah. So there are 6 steps to get score 3. Score 3. How about score 2? Score 2, step 2, 3, 5, and 6. So 2, 3, 5, and 6. If you have these 4 steps, you get score 2. Then score 1 is step 2 and step 3. You get score 1. Then finally, the tabulation of data must be put into the table. Okay, so solution, we have copper 2 sulfate solution and then zinc sulfate. Now this one is wrong spelling. Copper 2 sulfate and then zinc sulfate. Observation, okay, leave it empty, empty. So for score 2. And score 1, solution, without mention what is the solution used. Okay, so this is for score 1. Okay. So that's all for this video. Okay, if you have any question, you can write at the comment below and then do share this video to your friends. Okay, thank you very much.